A hyperbola has the equation x squared minus 9y squared plus 9 equals 0. Find the vertices, foci, asymptotes, and length of the transverse axis, then sketch its graph. I'm going to write the equation down here. X squared minus 9y squared plus 9 equals 0. Now we know that we want the x and y squared terms on the same side, and we want the constant on the other side. So we're going to have to subtract 9 from both sides to move the constant away. That gives us x squared minus 9y squared equals negative 9. Now we know also that we need that constant term to be equal to 1. So to get that negative 9 and change it to a 1, we're going to have to divide both sides by negative 9. And that is going to change the signs of each of the terms on the left. This first one, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So this is going to be negative x squared over 9. And then the second term, the negatives will cancel, and we'll have plus y squared, or y squared over 1, because the 9's cancel, equals 1. And then we know that we write the positive term first, so we're going to rearrange this and write it as y squared, or y squared over 1, minus x squared over 9 equals 1. And this is what we're going to use to figure out what the graph is going to look like and all of the other things. So here, because it's the y squared term that's positive, we're going to have a hyperbola that's opening vertically, upward and downward. So here, a squared is 1, which means that a is 1. And so our vertices are going to be at 0, comma, plus or minus 1. Remember, we're opening upward and downward here, so the vertices will be on the y-axis. Now we need to draw the central box so that we can get the asymptotes and sketch the graph. To do that, we need to use b, and in this case, since b squared is 9, that means that b is 3. So we're going to go to the right and to the left 3 units, and then those are the points that will be our guidelines for sketching in the central box. And then we can go in and we can draw in those asymptotes. Now, just by drawing in the asymptotes, we can see that the slopes of the asymptotes are going to be plus or minus 1/3. So we can actually write that in. The asymptotes are going to be y equals plus or minus 1/3 x. We also have the vertices. Might as well write those in. Those are going to be at 0, comma, plus or minus 1. Now we can go in and sketch the hyperbola. We need to draw the curve so that it goes through the vertices, and then it's tangent to the central box, and then also asymptotically approaching those asymptotes. It's a little bit harder to draw it beautifully when it's so wide like that, but we can do our best. So this is the graph of x squared minus 9y squared plus 9 equals 0. Now we need the foci and then also the length of the transverse axis. So remember, for the foci, we need to find the value of c. And c squared is a squared plus b squared, which is 1 plus 9, which is 10. So c squared is 10. That means that c is the square root of 10, and so the foci are going to be at 0, comma, plus or minus the square root of 10. Remember, because this is a vertically opening hyperbola, the foci are going to be up and down on the y-axis. Now, if we want to plot those points, the square root of 10 is about 3.2. So we can go up to about 3.2 and then down to about negative 3.2 on the y-axis. Those are our foci. And then the last thing we need is the transverse axis length. We know that that's just the distance between the vertices, which in this case is 2. So these are the attributes that we were asked to find, and we also have the graph, and we are good to go.